This video example will help you to solve section 6.6, number 1. The question says, find all real numbers that satisfy the equation and do not use a calculator. The equation is cosine x equals the square root of 3 over 2. Further directions are that we use the smallest non-negative arcs for the solution set, and the solution set is the set of all numbers x equals what arc plus 2k pi, or x equals what arc plus 2k pi, where k is any integer. Now, this problem is actually going to be made very simple because Ms. Crouch has had us to memorize quite a few things that are going to help us to solve this equation fairly simply. The first thing that is important for us to know is that we are looking for the smallest arcs that are non-negative, and these are the smallest cosine arcs. So we're looking for the smallest cosine arcs that are non-negative. That means that both of our answers are going to fall in positive quadrants on our unit circle. Now, Ms. Crouch has given us a little graphic that we can remember where positives are. All students take calculus. We know that A stands for all, which means that all numbers are positive. So in this section, we are positive, positive. Students, or S, is negative, positive, because only the sign in this section, in this quadrant, is positive. Down here, we have negative, negative, because only tangent is positive, and these, of course, represent cosine and tangent. And then in the fourth quadrant, we have positive, negative, and that's because we see the C, which stands for cosine positive only. So, looking at this, we know that our two answers, our two smallest arcs that have to be positive, are going to be found in quadrants 1 and quadrant 4. Quadrants 1 and 4. That means that our arc is going to fall in this section. This is the first arc because it will be the smallest one. Now, as you can recall, this is the section on our unit circle that we were told is extremely important to memorize. So, if you have memorized these trig values, and if you haven't memorized them, you'll realize now that it's important. If you have memorized them, then you know that the square root of 3 over 2 cosine is the 30-degree angle, and the 30-degree angle is represented by pi over 6. That is our radian. So we have theta in 30 degrees in degrees and theta in radians, and we now have our first answer, pi over 6. Now, our second answer is going to be just as simple, and that is because we were also supposed to practice and memorize our function sheets, and if you have done that, then you're going to know this one right off the bat as well. For this arc, we're going to be looking in quadrant 4, which means that we will start at 360 and go backwards 30 degrees to find our theta in this quadrant. And the reason we're going back 30 degrees is because we know that the cosine of the square root of 3 over 2 is 30 degrees. So you take 360 and you subtract 30 degrees, and it's going to put you somewhere around in here, and that is 330 degrees. And from practicing and writing over and over our cosine functions, we know that 330 degrees is 11 pi over 6. So now we know that x equals pi over 6 plus 2k pi, or x equals 11 pi over 6 plus 2k pi.